Hi there, and welcome to the Sun Tzu Strategies video blog, where I take concepts from Sun Tzu for Women and I utilize this medium to apply them to women in business so that they can seize every advantage and take advantage of every opportunity in their careers and in their businesses. Today, what I want to talk about is a question and an idea that is a challenge for many women and, quite frankly, many men as well. So I hope everyone will stick around and learn more about this question. What do you do when you're not being heard? And let me ask you, are you being heard? Getting our ideas and our voices heard is an ongoing problem for a lot of women and a lot of men. It's really frustrating to make suggestions, to make recommendations, only to have these ideas shot down or have them entirely disregarded by our bosses or even by our peers. It chips away at confidence, and it makes those people who are struggling with being heard question if they really are as good as they'd like to be. I want to focus on this because it's a question I received recently at a boot camp, and it's a really great question. It was during the Q&A section of one of my Sun Tzu for Women boot camps. The woman who asked it, she was clearly a seasoned professional, an intelligent woman, but she was frustrated because she felt like her contributions during meetings were very frequently discounted. And a lot of those meetings for her, as for a lot of us, were via the phone. They're conference calls and they're phone-based. So she doesn't have the added advantage that a lot of women have on picking up on body language, on those cues like that. She has to go by what she can glean from a conference call. So if this is familiar to you, what do you do to ensure that your ideas and your thoughts and your recommendations are being heard and that your contributions are being honored? Well, you have to build your case. If you feel like you're chronically underestimated and those contributions aren't being heard, it may be, and listen because this is common, it may be that your colleagues are not as well versed in your value, in your accomplishments, and what you bring to the table like they should be. Here's a solution. Pepper your recommendations with your experience. Never take for granted that your coworkers are up to speed. Here's a couple examples. When I worked at Data Corp, we instituted these standards for customer service, and we saw retention increase by 10%. I'm confident that if we did this here, we'd see the same increases. Or something like this. I've worked in public relations for over 10 years, and I can tell you that a media announcement like this, it's not newsworthy. I'd like to meet with each division director. I'd like to gain an understanding of story ideas that the media are going to care about, and I'd like to take those ideas out to targeted press. You see, both of these examples showcase the speaker's experience. The first one speaks to a tangible ROI, but they both include strong recommendations for a course of action. Neither one is defensive or indicative of any sort of frustration with not being heard. And both cases are delivered concisely for maximum impact. The delivery has to be confident, it has to be grounded in self-assurance. But listen carefully to this, because sometimes you just might be the problem. Let me give you a contrast. I recently sat in on a meeting with a volunteer organization. It was chaired by a very kind, very organized, very well-intended woman. But I wish there was a way for me to say, hey girl, you got to get your act together. She did the opposite of everything I recommended just above. She was long-winded. She used way too many words to say painfully little. She wasn't comfortable taking a strong position or making a recommendation, so this long-windedness, it just landed on deaf ears. I looked around the table at everybody else, and when she spoke, people tended to look down, they looked away, they didn't want to make eye contact, and she did not have their respect. The problem was where? It was in her delivery. If she did have really good ideas, she made the listener work way too hard to have to sift them out and have to draw the conclusion. Like I said, they just weren't confident in her. Let me give you just a couple of more points. I don't think that the woman who asked the question at the workshop was the problem, any more than I think you listening here probably are the problem. The majority of people aren't. But if you identify with not being heard, you have to take action. I had a woman in the audience who had a terrific suggestion. She said, after you make your case, open it up and ask, what does everyone else think of this? I think that's great. It will encourage other people to say something, to acknowledge the point, to chime in, to open up, to occupy space in that vacuum where right now there's just dead air. But here's another suggestion I want to make. When you have that home run point that you're waiting to make, that you know is going to be a big idea, and it's something that you really believe in and you want the team to take stock in, whether this is a recommendation or a contribution based on something you did recently or in the past, or something that's well researched and well planned out that you think is a play that you need to make now, pick that timing really carefully and then make that play. Timing is essential, and this is quintessential Sun Tzu. Don't talk yourself out of making the idea and making the point and then share it now once the moment is past and the momentum is shifted. That's not going to get you what you want. You've got to deliver these contributions with conviction, with boldness. You need to practice your delivery before the meetings, which is entirely likely. Begin to get comfortable with that. It can be a really good idea. And finally, listen to how you're heard. You may believe you're following all the tips I just mentioned and you're giving a picture-perfect delivery, but if you're struggling with this, then something's wrong, right? So I suggest you pay really close attention to people around you. Listen to peers. Listen to people who do get heard. Ask yourself why. You don't want to copy their style, but you do want to learn from them. And seek feedback from people in your network, people you really trust, maybe just one or even two people who you believe in, who can give you really good ideas, can tell you maybe where your problem areas are, and they can help you take that corrective action that you need to take. So what's worked for you? Feel free to chime in and tell us, and feedback here in the comment section. We'd love to utilize some of the things that have worked from you, and maybe some of our viewers and our readers can learn from your wins as well. Thanks for joining us.